Now I need a DCN cable. There's no way I'm reusing this piece of shit. Or can I? Do I want to go full monster here and try to reuse the DCN cable? What do you say, chat? Do I fix it or reuse this piece of shit? You know what? I'm feeling particularly frisky tonight. We're going to reuse this thing. We can recreate this pin. What do you say? What do you all say to recreating this cable? Hello, everybody. How's it going? So today we're going to be going over a MacBook Air that's not turning on. Let's see if we can figure out why this is not turning on and make it work again. So as you can see, there's a couple of areas here that may be keeping this from turning on. We have corrosion around the PP3V42 area as well as the JTAG connector, and we also have a little bit of marijuana over there. Whatever floats your boat, MacBook Air. I'm not judging. Looks like we're taking 76 milliamps and not turning on. We're getting 1.2 volts on 3.42 volt rail. And remember, the PP3V42_G3 hot 3.42 volt rail is the first one that's required. It's the rail that's going to power the circuit called the one-wire circuit that's going to allow the charger to speak to the SMC. It's going to power the SMC, which is needed to speak to the charger, to tell the charger that it has to turn on. Let's take the board out of the casing and see if we can get this MacBook fixed and working again. You can see over here by the fact that the little rubber piece by the fan has been raped and sodomized. This machine has been opened before. It's one thing to put it back in miscalibrated. It's another to leave it out of the machine entirely, but to put it back in the machine all ripped up, that's wrong. Don't treat this MacBook the way U.S. presidential candidates treat women. It's wrong. Looks like we also have some corrosion on the DCN board and DCN connector and cable. See, that's what we call a nonpartisan political joke, because it's kind of difficult to tell which party I'm talking about now, isn't it? Yeah, that's the sad part. Yeah, that's the sad part. Oh my God! You can see that my microscope light is not very happy with the fact that I've overvolted it. Indeed, Jim Hook. Check out pldaniels.com, where you can find quality software programmed by our host and good friends of the show, Paul Daniels. This is going to be the resistor, I imagine, that turns on the chip. The chip is going to turn on if it sees anything above 2 volts at its shutdown pin. Problem is that trace looked corroded terribly. We're going to put it back together and make it great again. If you support independent repair, it is no longer independent. That's a paradox. Yeah, because if it's supported, it's not independent because it's a... Wow. My mind is blown. Shit. Never thought of it that way before. I don't know what I'm going to do now. My cause is... Wow. Do I even want to be supported? I'd like to give the SMC a reflow, but first I need to get rid of this stuff. Junk around it. So I'm going to hold the hot air station further away so that the temperature on the board is hot enough to soften the adhesive and expand the rubber ship, but not high enough to actually melt solder, so that as I'm moving this, I'm moving the SMC. The one good medic said robust. Indeed. Good night, don't overwork yourself, you sound tired. Well, I've been better. But luckily, what's ailing me is not COVID, so things could most certainly be worse. Rip Nate Dogg. Exactly, Sergio. 244 and 245. Oh jeez, what is that then? Ah, this isn't too bad. These DCM boards used to be cheap, but now they're not anymore, so a little bit of refurbishing going on here. Just stressed out for the obvious reasons, Sergio. The trace that's always going to go bad is the one carrying the most power, and in this case it's PP3V42, as expected. Where is the pin? Is there even a pin still there? I'm going to overclock the light a little bit. Put the pedal to the metal here. 13 volt microscope light. Let's make this easier. Move it up to on the desk to where I'm comfortable. Usually no, Paul Bryant. The screens are expensive, there's no profit in it, and people get mad when I give them prices, so. For iPad Air, I usually just say no. The problem with the iPad Air 2 is that the screen costs pretty much the same amount as the iPad. I can't see shit over there. Alright, so I just used the hot air to blow away a lot of the excess flux. Now I need a DCN cable. There's no way I'm reusing this piece of shit. Or can I? Do I want to go full monster here and try to reuse the DCN cable? What do you say, chat? Do I fix it or reuse this piece of shit? You know what? I'm feeling particularly frisky tonight. We're gonna reuse this thing. We're gonna teach this connector in this cable. That pin's fine. It's just a little red is all. Enhance. Need more light. 14 volts to the 12 volt light is not enough. Enhance. 15 volts. Anel was here. Why is Anel giving back his company salary? Yeah, there's no pin there. No, we're gonna fix pin cable at component level. How about it? We can recreate this pin. What do you say? What do you all say to recreating this cable? I see the nub. The nub is here, and here's the side of that nub to the pin. I need a pin though. Where is it? There's got to be something left here. Okay, there we go. Just chop away this a little. This is totally fucking stupid because this cable is like $5. I just want to see if it's possible. But like, just for any of you out there in practical land, this cable that I'm working on is $5. Not even. Just so we're all on the same page here, this is beyond ridiculous. This is possible. I'm going to repair this burned, missing pin, $3 cable. It's possible. This is not a meme. I want a nice little round solder joint there. See, Paul Daniels only fixes the one connector on the DCN board. We're going to fix the DCN cable, because we don't live the high life like Paul Daniels. Charging $400 for board repair software. Be right back. I'm going to ultrasonic this cable a little bit. Alright, so I accidentally forgot to turn mute off after ultrasonicking it, so you're going to get my after-the-fact commentary. So here we have a JTAG connector. And what is it that we like to do to JTAG connectors on little MacBook Airs like this? Indeed. There's something that makes me really happy about knowing that there's an Apple engineer out there at some refurbishing plant of some refurbishing center that's getting back a machine that at one point I worked on, and he wants to plug it in so that he can do diagnostics, and no he can't. I actually knocked off a little resistor there for the SPI ROM, so I'm going to have to reattach that once this here is ripped off. So we're just going to place a little SPI ROM resistor over there, no big deal. Just flow it into place a little bit, and it'll be nice and happy. And after this, we'll just reflow the SMC reset area since there was a little bit of corrosion by that. And now it's time to plug it in. So I'm going to plug this thing in, and unfortunately it's taking the exact same 73 milliamps that it was before, and it's not giving us a light. So when I check PP3V42 circuit over here, I get 1 volt on PP3V42, which is no good. I'm supposed to be getting 3.4. So I check the input, and we do have 17 volts coming in to the input of PP3V42, but then 0.9 volts coming out of the output. So the next natural thing to do is to check and see if there's a short circuit. And there is a short circuit. Now, just in case it's inside that messed up DC-in cable, I unplugged it, but we still had a short circuit. So took a look at these 3 caps by the SMC. These 3 on the right, upper right of the SMC for PP3V42 are always the ones that go short, and you could tell that they're a little bit corroded compared to the rest of them, so I just knocked those caps off of the board. Just, sell them a nice old GTFO, plug it in, and the reason that you're going to see the table shake over here is because I'm jumping up and down, giddy with excitement that my DC inboard replacement worked. Unfortunately, you can't hear my reaction because I accidentally muted, but yeah, that is working. So what went wrong with this board is quite simple. The first issue that we had was that PP3V42_G3 hot was shorted to ground by 3 capacitors that were corroded by the SMC. Those were replaced. However, we still would have had the issue that we wouldn't have had a green light. We wouldn't have had a green light because the cable that allows the system management controller to speak to the charger was corroded. So instead of replace this $3 part, I fixed it at component level at 1 in the morning. Oh, this quarantine's going on too long. My fan spins. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.